Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following report. An investigation by the Mammoth Lakes Fire Department has concluded that the construction crew at work on the Digital 395 project severed a main propane line into Mammoth Lakes because AmeriGas made an improper determination for the crew to rely on markings of an earlier leak survey. Now, you can see this complete report on our website, sierrawave.net. It was back on June 18th that the Cleven crew working for Digital 395 went by spray painted markings on the ground and severed one of two 4-inch gas lines. Mammoth Fire responded. Mammoth Police closed Meridian Boulevard as efforts continued to secure the area. Now, according to the report from Mammoth Fire Division Chief Tom Heller, the incident occurred between two intersections of College Parkway. Chief Brent Harper said the Cleven crew did contact the service, Call Before You Dig, which contacts utilities with underground pipes in the area to assure they are marked for a digging project. Cleven relied on the markings on the ground after making that call. The markings were made by health consultants marking lines for a leak survey. Heller said this was not part of the USA Dig North program required before ground disturbance. Heller wrote, quote, "The marking was never intended nor met the marking requirements for a dig request," end quote. Cleven's superintendent saw the markings and made his digging calculations accordingly. Now, these markings were yellowish colored paint dots on the dirt surface at about 12 to 15 foot intervals. The crew assumed the gas line was in line with the dots. At 5:45 p.m., the boring equipment hit one of two gas lines located next to each other. Heller said it was calculated that about 800 gallons of propane discharged from the leak. A steady wind dispersed much of the gas. However, the report says that explosive concentrations did leak below ground and were verified at two openings near the entrance to Mammoth Elementary School. Heller's conclusion was, quote, "There was a significant improper determination made by someone at AmeriGas to rely on the markings of the leak survey and not independently mark or reinforce the markings for the boring project," end quote. Now, Heller's report says that, quote, "This decision led to inadequate markings, and as no communications were initiated by anyone at AmeriGas, the boring contractor assumed the USA Dig markings were in place and that they were clear to begin their project," end quote. Now, the report also says, quote, "The responsibility for the incident lies entirely on the decision made by AmeriGas to rely on the markings for the previously marked non-related leak detection project," end quote. Well, the Mammoth Lakes Town Council recently approved the Mammoth Lakes Police Department's volunteer program. That was back on June 19th. So now the Mammoth Lakes Police Department is recruiting volunteers. A press release asks, do you have time to volunteer and give back to your community? Are you interested in helping the police department keep Mammoth safe for our residents and visitors? Would you like to learn more about your police department and spend time supporting your police officers? If so, try the Mammoth Lakes Police Department volunteer program. The press release states that volunteers are needed to perform administrative duties such as greeting and assisting customers at the front counter, providing translation services, and data entry. Now, there will also be a community patrol where volunteers will patrol the streets conducting vacation checks, enforcing some parking violations, and assisting at crime and traffic collision scenes. The Mammoth Lakes Police Department is also looking for volunteers to reestablish the Neighborhood Watch program. Now, the requirements for volunteers include that they must be at least 18 years of age, in good health, and pass a background investigation. The press release notes that volunteers will be required to attend a volunteer training academy to be scheduled sometime this month. Now, applications can be picked up at the police department on Old Mammoth Road Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., or you can request one by mail. Call 760-934-2011. Applications will also be available online. Now, this recruitment will be ongoing, but an initial application deadline has been set for August 23rd. There will be an orientation meeting on Tuesday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Well, one of the best summer events in the Eastern Sierra taking place this week, and that is Mammoth Jazz. Now, the music starts on Wednesday and goes through Sunday at various locations in Mammoth Lakes. Hey, this is the 25th year of Mammoth Jazz, formerly known as the Mammoth Jazz Jubilee. Their motto, enjoy hot jazz in the cool Sierra. That is a great slogan, and there's many special events and wine tasting. If you would like tickets or information about Mammoth Jazz, hey, check out the website, mammothjazz.org. And there's a fundraiser associated with Mammoth Jazz. Bennett Kessler filed this story. He made his home in Mammoth Lakes, loves music and the outdoors. In mid-May, 13-year-old Evan Podsiad was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. Suddenly, his life changed, and now he awaits a heart transplant. Mammoth Jazz is the scheduled site for a benefit fundraiser for Evan and his family, who have all now moved to Los Angeles, waiting the transplant. Now, in an interview on CBS in Los Angeles, Evan appeared upbeat and eager for a new heart while he is confined in Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. The only known therapy for his advanced heart failure is a transplant. Friends said doctors believe Evan's life in high altitude brought his heart condition to their attention earlier. Now, while in the 6th grade in Mammoth Lakes, Evan was one of the 11 boys in the advanced jazz band. He was set on attending the Mammoth Lakes Jazz Camp this summer. Now, that's out of the question, but now the beat goes on for Evan Benefit Fundraiser will be held at the Holler site of Mammoth Jazz this Saturday. Now, that event will include raffle prizes, food, auction items, entertainment, and community support. All proceeds will go to Evan and his family to help with the large financial burden of his heart transplant. Now, donations were still needed in the form of perhaps benefit beverages, catering, raffle items, and monetary contributions. Many businesses in Mammoth are selling raffle tickets. Donations can be sent to the Evan Podsiad Fund at Eastern Sierra Bank, and you can call Team Evan for more information at 707-498-8023. We'll be back with a look at the Mammoth Lakes 4th of July Parade.